Next, we'll pivot to a topic that I see unfortunately becoming more and more common, and that's going to be the subject of deed theft. Now, here we have a local example of a woman that was arrested within the past couple weeks who is accused of deed theft. Now, deed theft is when you purchase a property and you take ownership. The previous owner transfers ownership to you via a deed. A deed is what makes you the owner of the property. So deed theft, in this case, could be something as simple as what she's being alleged as. No one's been convicted yet, but someone walks into a county recorder and says, Joe Smith is transferring his property to me. Here's my deed to prove it. That gets recorded. The fraudster now owns the property. We're not just seeing this here locally. A more national example you might be familiar with is about a year or so ago, someone tried to steal Graceland, Elvis's former property. When Elvis's daughter passed away, this person is being accused of essentially creating false documents that outline that there was a mortgage debt on the property, and now this person was attempted to foreclose on that imaginary debt to claim ownership of Graceland. And you would think of all the properties to go after. Would you really want to go after the most famous property in the country? I don't know. I think that would be maybe one I'd try to stay away from. But again, that's a bit more complex version. What we're seeing more commonplace is going to be just fraudulent deeds, because the documents are so easy to create. It's tough to prevent something like that. If we see that, if a county recorder sees that, okay, it appears Joe Smith signed it and it appears to have been notarized, it looks legitimate, right? So it's tricky to prevent things like that from happening. Steps you can take. Well, first, the best thing you can possibly do is, whether you want to do it once a year, twice a year, just check in with your county to make sure, hey, who do you have as owner? Who do you have as the current mailing list? If for any reason you stop receiving tax bills or school tax bills to your property, reach out immediately to figure out what the confusion is, because, best case scenario, you might be paying a late fee on your taxes, but it could also be someone else took ownership of it and now the tax bills are going over to the new person. So yeah, it could be something as simple as a phone call or going online onto your county assessor website and plugging in your address. When you sell a property, when you purchase a property, you might be familiar with something called title insurance. Title insurance will protect you, but title insurance is only going to protect going backwards. Okay, so if you purchase a property, again, from Jane Doe, and it turns out down the road that Jane Doe actually wasn't the real owner of the property. She, however, by hook or crook, stole it from someone else and then sold it to you. Likely title insurance is going to be able to help you out to rectify anything that happened previously. It won't help you in the future. So if you buy a property and someone steals it from you, that's not the purpose of title insurance. Title insurance is to protect you from anything previous to you owning the property. So title insurance is going to be a help. Best thing, again, is just to reach out to your county periodically and say, hey, just checking in to make sure you have my right billing address and things like that. So be on the lookout. Unfortunately, it is very difficult to prevent something like that from happening. With artificial intelligence becoming more and more pervasive, that's not going to help things, because someone at the county could think that they're speaking with the property owner. It sounds like the property owner, and they have all the they can verify all the correct information. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the property owner. So this is a topic that's going to get more and more. I don't know if publicity is the right word. I think it's going to gain a lot of traction in terms of you're going to see it popping up all over the country. But be on the lookout, because deed theft is a real problem, and it can be a real headache to try to unwind should you fall victim to something like this.